Hi there, Cancer. Welcome to Terrorland Soap Opera. I'm going to set the camera down for a minute and then I'll pick it back up to show you the cards, but I'm away from home and I don't have a tripod. So what we're going to do is we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be what is going on in the lives of people that harness some high vibe Cancer energy. You know, it's about loving yourself, believing in yourself, not giving up on your dreams, offering love and compassion and forgiveness to yourself and people of your past, just to let it go. Offer yourself love to get over some of your fears, your insecurities, your self-limiting beliefs, so you can keep focused on the future and manifesting your dreams into reality. And there might be some people in your life that aren't on the same page as you. The people that are on the same page as you harness the same energy as you and they're moving forward with you. But there might be some people, and just in general, people in the world that harness a more shadowy Cancer energy, which can be maybe where they use their emotions manipulatively in relationships to get what they want. They haven't quite been illuminated to the truth about love, and that love is about treating other people the way you like to be treated. And they might be emotionally defensive. They might have some past pain and heartbreak they haven't dealt with, so they're kind of in their ego, their more emotionally defensive nature. Or you might have dealt with some people who harness much more shadowy Cancer energy, and they are people who try to manipulate and control people because that gives them a sense of thinking that everything will work out fine. Or some people, that's their dream relationship, is to be bossy and controlling with people. Okay, let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, in the top row, we have the Eight of Wands, the Moon card, the 10 of Pentacles, and then we had this group come out together, which is the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Fool card, the Seven of Cups, and the Hierophant card. And the Hierophant, just has to do with all these different things in the world. It can be workplaces, it can be relationships, friendships, and it kind of has to do with what our underlying philosophy is in life. Do we align with our more worldly view of life, or are we willing to be a spiritual leader in the world? Have we emotionally grown and matured ourselves? Have we learned lessons in life? The Eight of Wands is Sagittarius energy, and it talks about, it talks about taking some bold, brave, creative action in life to wrap your brain around this game of life, because Sagittarius is about higher learning and education. Are we willing to take creative, inspired action regarding the philosophy of life that we might have grown up with, or, had in the past, about how we viewed ourselves, how we viewed the world, how we viewed relationships? Are we willing to, if we're going to grow and mature ourselves, we have to get out of our more stubborn, egotistical ways of being and realize that, we have lessons to learn, that it is about growing and maturing ourselves and expanding our philosophy of life and how we view ourselves, how we view others, how we view the world, how we view relationships. Are we willing to listen to our intuition? Because our intuition was given to us as a gift. We've all been in those situations in life where our intuition is telling us, I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think this is going to work out well. I think we've done stuff like this before and it didn't work out well. Our intuition was given to us as a gift because the divine wants us to have our divine inheritance, to have a true sense of abundance within ourself and stability within ourself. And the 10 of Pentacles is Virgo energy, where it is about having insight and wisdom about life and ourself, not living in denial of the truth and staying in denial of truth. Virgo energy is about being illuminated to the truth. And if we want true stability and security in our life, and we want to be in stable and abundant relationships, we need to move forward with other people who have taken creative, inspired action about their perspective of life, to listen to their intuition and self-reflect and go within, to have gained insight and wisdom about their own fears, insecurities, pride, ego, selfishness, greed, immaturity, past pain and heartbreak. How do we grow ourselves to our full potential to be a spiritual leader in the world if we're never willing, we refuse to listen to our intuition? No, I know better. No, I know my intuition's telling me that. No, I refuse to do it. You know, you could have been moving forward with some people previously in a job or a relationship or a friendship where people have illusions about what it means to work together with people. You know, they think that they could be stubborn and prideful and immature and selfish and greedy and bossy and controlling and all those things. And that's their dream life. And that's how they think people should operate. And that you should just be willing to emotionally invest in them anyway. And if you were moving forward with some people like that, or you are moving forward with some people like that right now, you find it confusing because you realize that you have different ideas of how you view the workplace or how you view relationships and friendships. The people in your life who also take bold, brave, confident action to listen to their intuition and gain insight and wisdom when they tip into their pride and their ego and their fear and their insecurity, they emotionally put in the work and effort to deal with their fears and insecurities and things that they might not have even known were buried underneath the surface of their emotions, but that got triggered because whenever we move forward, as we move forward in life, there are going to be things that get triggered within us that we maybe didn't even know were there, that were buried underneath the surface of our emotions. Something deep in our foundation. And then that can cause us problems, and cause conflict in relationships because we also could not even realize, well, I had this certain way of viewing relationships. And, part of it could be that maybe I kind of thought I would be the privileged person in a relationship that, well, I guess I kind of thought that I could be stubborn and whatever, and people would just keep indulging me being that way, And we just have to realize that sometimes we get in friendships and relationships with people and they have their own ideas of how they view relationships. But what you're doing, you're moving forward, you're listening to your intuition. You could be investing in a new job or a new relationship. You're taking the lessons that you've learned from past life experience to invest in your dreams. And you're being careful about who you invest your time, energy, and effort into. You're defensive to people who have a more worldly view of life, who are a fool for the world. They want to be in relationships for the status, the image, the money, the materialism, the ego, their lust, their greed. They have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. Maybe they're looking for people who emotionally indulge them in relationships where they can be prideful and egotistical and stubborn. Or they want to be in a relationship with you because you seem very stable and grounded and emotionally nurturing. And they think, that's what you're supposed to do, right? Don't you go find someone who's emotionally nurturing and stable and grounded and all those good things? But yet but they're not that way. Well, do you take bold, brave, confident action to listen to your intuition? Have you emotionally grown and matured yourself? Or are you just creating an illusion that you're all those things, but you're not? So you're holding your sword up to people who invest in the world, who don't take leaps of faith to believe in their dreams, and who maybe don't want to be in deep emotional connections, they find those confusing. So they have this illusion about what it means to be in a relationship. Don't we get in a relationship and just create an illusion? Like, look at us. Look, we got in a relationship. It's kind of operating more from pride and ego. Don't you want to be in a relationship? It'll make us look like whatever. Like, that says something about us. Like, we have this stability, or we have this abundance, and, we present ourselves to the world like we're these certain type of people. It looks like we've had a dream come into reality. We've accomplished this goal. Look at us. We have this successful job or relationship. Isn't that the point? And you're like, no. I think, there's more to life than sometimes, just what the world tells us it is. Oh, you're supposed to have a job that makes you a lot of money. Oh, you're supposed to get in a relationship. That'll make you seem like you have some certain status or something in the world. It's about believing in your dreams and continuing to grow yourself and mature yourself and be bold and brave to keep adding to your foundation and walking the talk that I do believe in my dreams. I do believe in love. I'm going to not get caught up in the illusion of the world and think it's just about money and materialism and status and image, or being an immature player and indulging in illusion out of my defensiveness because I've been betrayed before and I don't want to invest in taking a leap of faith. You're listening to your intuition about who you want to invest in. You've dealt with people who create illusions before that are caught up in the illusion of the world. You might have communicated to someone that you're ready to start fresh and new, that you listened to your intuition about an old job or relationship or marriage that you were in before, and you're ready to start new because you felt betrayed in that relationship because people weren't being authentic and honest, maybe keeping secrets, that they were more ego-driven, money-driven, image-driven instead of love-driven. And someone who you might have communicated to right now could be considering if they want to invest in the dream with you, or if they want to keep investing in how they've been living their life and maybe making their life more about doing the status quo and money and materialism and status and image. If not that, you're just taking your time and you're getting ready to go on this new journey, believing in yourself, and you are walking the talk and you're putting in the work and effort. If we profess to believe that I believe the divine has a plan for my life, well then let's walk the talk like we do believe that. Let's look to the future instead of focusing on the past. Let's let go of the illusions and the fear and the insecurity and the self-limiting beliefs, and let's start investing and taking a leap of faith, believing in our dreams. Our dreams can't come into reality unless we start investing time, energy, and effort to take action to bring them into reality. You could have been moving forward in relationships and friendships or workplaces with people who are defensive of doing that. We don't do things any differently than we've done it. We defend this way of living our life. We move forward in an illusion that this is all wonderful and peachy keen. We look very victorious and successful. We might be kind of stubborn and prideful and egotistical, and we like other people to put aside their pride and ego, but not us. We don't take leaps of faith to believe in things being different. We find that emotionally confusing to do things differently than the way we've always done it. And we're not willing to do it. And we're not willing to look at life from a higher perspective. So when you were in a job or relationship where you were trying to nurture a dream to come into reality, you could have tried to help people, look at life from a higher perspective. You were doing that. You were putting it into practice, not getting caught up in, investing in foolish behavior, being petty and snarky or bossy or controlling or jealous or envious or whatever. You were being bold and brave and walking the talk. And some other people are like, that's different. I don't know if I want to do that. And eventually you had to decide, do I want to keep investing in these people that seem to be defensive of really walking the talk? They present themselves and create the illusion like they're people who are willing to do that, but they're really not. And eventually you had to move on. You might be getting a new job, a new relationship. You might even be making an offer to someone who feels that you betrayed them in the past, maybe in the past, because the Queen of Swords can talk about somebody who feels emotionally betrayed. Maybe before you were moving forward, and in life, we always have options, to get in a relationship with this person or get in a relationship with that person. For some people, this could be someone you never even got in a relationship with before. For some, it could be someone you had been in a relationship with before. But you could have had to repeat a pattern of the past because you needed to learn to be more bold and brave and confident to listen to your intuition, because you had your ideas of what it meant to be in relationships and friendships and workplaces, and you weren't ready to look at life from a higher perspective. And you might, now that you have learned those lessons, you might make an offer to someone who feels like you betrayed them in the past. And now you might have spoken to them about the truths that you've learned, but now they might be kind of defensive to investing in you because they could be afraid that you're just creating an illusion again. We all have lessons to learn, as we're growing up in life. Sometimes we're in a more immature phase, we have our ideas of what we think our life should look like, and maybe we hadn't learned to listen to our intuition. Maybe we had some fears and insecurities in our foundation that we hadn't dealt with, so we kind of could have had to go through some difficult life lessons. You could have went through a shadowy period in your life because you hadn't learned to listen to your intuition. You could have made an offer to heal things with people who maybe live more from their mind than their heart, maybe living your life a little bit more from your ego, or you were used to investing in people who operate more from ego, kind of caught up in the illusions of the world. And you could have tried to manifest, because that's how you viewed life and relationships at that time. And then you could have done that, and you could have felt, you could have been trying to investing. We have these patterns where we could be used to being in relationships where we're trying to help other people heal and other people see things from a higher perspective and whatever. And, that makes us feel loving. And, it's like, I want to win this time. I've dealt with other people who are kind of immature or manipulative or worldly focused or ego focused, and I'm used to dealing with people like that. That's my comfort zone. Being in a relationship with people who listen to their intuition, who are more grounded and stable and nurturing, it's like, that's weird. I'm not used to being in a relationship with people who are like that. And so then we go back and we repeat a pattern that's like, oh, this is more my comfort zone. I'm more used to emotionally investing in people that I'm trying to encourage to get on the same page as me. I'm not used to being in a relationship with people who are on the same page as me. And you could have repeated a pattern because you needed to heal some things within your own foundation. And part of that could have been learning to invest in healing your own inner child nature. Why do we repeat patterns? Because there's probably something from our past that made us not love and believe in ourselves, and we hadn't learned to go within and love ourselves and nurture ourselves to feel more stable and grounded within ourselves. So in our shadow energy, we're kind of more codependent on other people, Well, like, aren't you supposed to make me feel loved? Aren't you supposed to make me feel secure? It's kind of like being a child, and we're looking for people to like replace our parents in a way, instead of us learning to grow and mature ourselves and being our own best mother, father, coach voice within ourselves. So we're not looking to heal those past relationships through someone else. Like, oh, you remind me of my mom, or you remind me of my dad. And I feel like there's some unresolved issues there. So I'm kind of replaying the same scenario out, but it's just with you. You're not my mom, you're not my dad. But probably subconsciously, there's something about them that reminds you of them. And they might have needed to heal, and they might have needed to get out of their ego and get out of their illusions and believe in themselves more to offer you love. And it's still like trying to win. I'm going to try to go get in a relationship with someone like that again, who subconsciously could remind me of those people, to get them this time to offer me love. And the whole point of repeating that, because if you get in a relationship with people who exhibit those same traits and characteristics, they are the way they are for a reason. And they're probably not going to change, because they are the way they are because of their own life experiences. And the whole point was for us to kind of heal and get out of our inner conflict about it, to offer peace to the past and move on from it and believe in ourselves and heal that past pain and heartbreak, and learn to love and heal our own inner child and invest in healing ourselves, and realizing I don't need to try to get people who might remind me of some people in my past or my old past wounding. I need to do that within myself. And then when you do that within yourself, you're able to move forward, because you've learned to emotionally heal, and you put in the work and effort to emotionally heal. The feminines in tarot can talk about our emotional state, and the masculines in tarot talk about putting in work and effort in the 3D world. And you did that work, whether you're male or female, to heal and grow and mature yourself, and to maybe be more bold and brave, to look at life as an adventure to be lived, that you could move forward and leave the past pain and heartbreak behind, realizing that you have your intuition to guide you, and that if you put in the work and effort to keep nurturing and loving yourself and being bold and brave and confident and listening to your intuition, that you will be able to have new beginnings and see life from a higher perspective, and have no interest in repeating those past types of relationships anymore, because you've come to a place of balance within yourself, and you're ready to invest in taking a leap of faith to go on a new journey and believe in a new dream. And as you go forward, I think you're going to, invest in other people. You're going to be truthful and honest and encouraging and supportive. But you're going to listen to your intuition. Which people in the world have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship? Kind of like some people in your past who haven't healed yet, who are still operating more from pride and ego or fear or insecurity, who are maybe manipulated by their more fearful, immature nature, who might be more aligned with the world than love. And you want to find the people who are invested in leaving the past behind, who've healed from it, who are ready to go on a new journey. And the people right now who haven't done that work within themselves, they've got to repeat patterns of their life. They might still be more codependent. They might still be trying to heal old wounds. They might go to get in relationships with people who remind them subconsciously of people from their past that they have unhealed issues from. Hopefully they'll be able to heal and move on, and some of those people might communicate with you, just like you're moving forward and communicating with people who you might have felt that you hurt before. You might have people communicating with you from your past. And again, you've just got to listen to your intuition about people from your past who might want to make you an offer. But are they people who are just creating an illusion that they've grown and matured themselves? Are they still being immature and secretive? Are they still materialistically driven? But they could think that you look like the shining star now if they previously turned their back on you because they thought someone else who had money and materialism seemed to be like the way to go. But, you know, they could have tried to heal things with that person, but that person moved on because maybe that person was really, who knows what they're doing. Anyway. You know, you're just going to have to listen to your intuition as you move forward in your life. If you are in a relationship or a marriage right now, everybody's listening to their intuition. Everybody is taking creative action, which I think you have to do. We can't get rid of our worldly, shadowy nature. It's there. We have fears, insecurities, pride, and ego, want it our way, blah, blah, blah. You know, if everybody keeps doing that work, nobody is going to invest on turning their back on this relationship. Everybody's going to invest in holding their sword up to being foolish and immature and getting caught up in fantasy land, you know. And if you're not in a romantic relationship, I think you could be getting into a new one, or you could be getting a new job. But as you move forward, there's some of the people who live life more of an illusion are going to be defensive to you because you live life differently than them. They also might be defensive because they know, because you're bold and brave and confident and believe in yourself, that you're really going to have your dreams come into reality. But because they're not bold and brave and confident to walk the talk, maybe be emotionally vulnerable in relationships because they get hurt doing that, they could have be moving forward with an illusion that everything's wonderful in whatever relationship they're in, but they know it's just an illusion and that it could be more because of money or materialism or status or image, and it makes them look really successful by worldly standards, but they know it's just an illusion. It isn't. You're the one who's bold and brave and confident enough to really bring your dreams into reality. And they weren't willing to maybe... I view both the Queen of Pentacles and the Hierophant as Taurus energy. Could be people who are kind of stubborn and prideful and really caught up in the illusions of the world. And they think that's the most important thing. Don't you get in a relationship because of the status and the image and the money and the materialism and how it makes you look? And if you have the right image and people view you a certain way, isn't that the most important thing? But it might be out of fear and insecurity. It might be that they got in relationships with other people who view them as being like a loving family person, but it's just because the person hasn't seen the truth of them. And you did see the truth of them. That's not really who they are. It is more about their ego and their image and their status. Maybe kind of stubborn and prideful and egotistical. And if you're not buying into the illusion of who they are and indulging them in the illusion of who they are, them wanting to view themselves as loving when really it's more ego and image and money, then they're defensive to you and you became defensive to them. And you both could have felt betrayed in the relationship. So you're both moving on in different relationships. They're going to continue creating the illusion that they're a high vibe Cancer, that they harness high vibe Cancer, even though whatever zodiac sign they are, they want to present to the world that they're a loving family person. But what drives and motivates them more is money and materialism and status and image. They're defensive to taking a risk to be in deep, meaningful relationships. They just want to create the illusion of being in that. And if any of those people communicate with you thinking they want to come back and get in a relationship because now you're the one who it looks like is the shining star, I think you're going to hold your sword up to them. It's like, I've listened to my intuition about your foundation and I've seen the truth. I'm no longer in illusion about you. I know my dreams can't come into reality with you because you don't see life from a higher perspective. You're very ego-driven. So, for some people who are trying to create an illusion that they're living the dream, those people might be making an offer. They're emotionally investing in their more worldly nature, and they're going to go emotionally invest in other people who might have a lot of lessons to learn, because we have 2 pages down here versus more very emotionally mature people here. And they're going to go invest in someone else who also might have a lot of lessons to learn in life. And, that's okay. We've all been there. And it's all about, we got to learn the lessons we need to learn. And if we haven't learned lessons, and if we're kind of fearful and afraid, or we're more insecure, or we're more immature and indulgent, or whatever, we go find out people who are on the same page as us. And that's just and fair. It's an injustice for people to create an illusion that they're more mature or whatever than they are and hide their true nature. If they're immature, if they're more prideful, egotistical, stubborn, controlling, it's an injustice for them to try to create an illusion that they're different than they are. And it's even an injustice to them. People should authentically be who they are and be where they're at. We don't try to make 15-year-olds act like they're 25. They don't have the life experience to truly be like a 25-year-old. They're like a 15-year-old trying to act like a 25-year-old. Anyway, they might know someone who would like to be in a relationship with them. And if they can get that person to get in a relationship with them, it might make them look like they're moving forward victoriously. But again, it could be an illusion, because the whole thing is, I think we'll get drawn and attracted until we free ourselves from our fears, our insecurities, our self-limiting beliefs, and ignoring our intuition. We're going to get in relationships that we need to heal from. It will be painful, because we need to take some bold, brave, creative action to get out of our ego and our fear and our insecurity and our self-limiting beliefs, or our self-centeredness, or our more immature, indulgent, reckless, whatever ways of being, to believe we can manifest our dreams into reality and go to like the next level of life. But some people have this view of life that I don't have to grow up and mature myself. I'm like immature and codependent. Isn't life just about creating this illusion like you've grown up and matured yourself? Don't you just create the illusion that you're this emotionally mature, stable, grounded person in workplaces and relationships, but you never do the inner work, and you keep ignoring your intuition, and you never take bold, brave, confident action to educate yourself? You keep investing and repeating these old patterns of the past, thinking, I know better. I'm going to keep moving forward in pride and ego. I'm sure I can manipulate people into believing that I'm more mature and stable and insightful and grounded and walk the talk than I am. And eventually there comes a point in time in the relationship where the other people that they get in relationship with really want to invest in bringing the dream into reality. We've been working together I've been nurturing and supportive. It's time to really bring the dream into reality and invest in taking a leap of faith where, we add emotionally, invest more into this relationship and bring it to a new higher level, And they're like, no, I was just creating an illusion. I find that confusing. I really don't want to walk the talk. I'm really kind of more about my wants and my needs and my ego and my image. I'm kind of more invested in that. And I'm kind of defensive to investing and being more bold and brave and authentic and vulnerable and loving. So I'm going to be defensive to you. And I'm going to go find someone else who might need to still heal from some of their self-limiting beliefs, who maybe I can get to move forward and I can maybe manipulate them into indulging the illusion of who I think I am and convince them that I'm something other than I am, but really I'm kind of immature emotionally. And I kind of operate more from ego, and I just try to create an illusion that I'm very stable and grounded and mature, but I'm not. So some of you, when you were in a relationship, you could have been moving forward, and then someone from their past could have communicated with them and created the illusion that they wanted to get into a relationship with them. And because this person has healing to do, and they're really not ready to look at life from a higher perspective and take a leap of faith, and you really are, the divine knew that this person wasn't ready to move forward with you. So the divine had someone probably come into their life to get them out of your life, basically. Tempt them in their more immature worldly nature because they have healing to do. And they could be someone who operates more from ego, and you maybe weren't seeing through the illusion and kind of wanted to turn your back on the truth because you kept thinking, no, I can emotionally nurture and love this person. I have a dream. I want to come into reality. I don't want to give up on it. And eventually the divine's like, you have got to see the truth. And we're going to make you see the truth. You are ready to move forward, and this person isn't. So we're going to either tempt them by their more immature worldly nature, or we're going to bring someone into their life to tempt them to align with their more worldly nature, because that's really who they are. And they're going to go try to heal things with that person, because that person is probably more aligned with how they view life. They also might be someone who's more aligned with living a life of illusion, keeping your emotions buried beneath the surface, staying in relationships because of the ego and the image and the money and the whatever. And that person's probably going to manipulate them. But they have to go through that, and they'll maybe both manipulate each other. But they both need to go through that because the divine's trying to get them to see through the illusion so that they'll grow up and mature themselves and invest in looking at life from a higher perspective. Is this really how you want to live your life? A life of illusion of isn't this wonderful? But people are defensive to being bold and brave and confident and believing in their dreams. The divine wants us to have our divine inheritance. And we can't have our divine inheritance if we keep getting caught up in the illusion of the world, and that other people are the ones to make our dreams come into reality. We both got to be on the same page. We both got to be willing to invest in being bold and brave and facing our fears and our insecurities and walking the talk and looking at life from a higher perspective. And if you're both not on the same page, it's an injustice. And I think when you could have been in some relationships like that, and the whole thing is, when we're in relationships with people, hopefully people are all putting in the work and effort to heal from their shadow nature, their fears, their insecurities, their past pain and heartbreak, so that they can all move forward together, listening to their intuition, believing in their dreams. But sometimes we get in relationships and we're doing the work to heal and offering love to the past, offering love to our more worldly nature and our past pain and heartbreak and self-limiting beliefs so we can get out of our ego and believe in ourselves. And that's when we get out of our shadow nature and we move up and connect with our more loving, hopeful, believing nature. And sometimes we're in relationships with other people, they're not doing that same work. Instead of offering love to their worldly nature and their past pain and heartbreak to get out of their ego, they keep investing in thinking they know better. And they're going to keep moving forward in pride and ego. They don't have to heal from past pain and heartbreak. They can just ignore it. They can just create the illusion that they've healed from past pain and heartbreak and their self-limiting beliefs and that everything will go okay. But the whole thing is, you can't keep creating an illusion in relationships. Eventually people see the truth that you haven't healed, that you do have a lot of emotional shit buried beneath the surface, and that you didn't do the work. And other people tell them the truth that we need to invest in dealing with these issues, or, you know, I see my dream can't come into reality, and the other people are like, am I willing to do the work? To work through my fears and my insecurities and my emotional confusion and my defensiveness. And some said, nope, I'm going to be defensive to you. I'm going to defend my illusion and the way I live my life, and I'm going to keep doing life exactly the way I've been doing it. It's like, okay, everybody's got free will. I'm not going to be an illusion about who you are. People have the free will choice in relationships to be open, honest, loving, authentic, warm, encouraging, supportive, to treat you the way you treat them, or not. Some people want to be immature, self-centered, stubborn, that you're supposed to indulge them in their ego or in their fears and insecurities. You're supposed to be like a mother figure to them while they stay immature, keep moving forward in their pride and ego, keep thinking they're supposed to be the center of attention. Everybody's supposed to put aside their pride and ego but them. That you're supposed to want to stay in the relationship because of the illusion you created. Look how successful it is. Look how stable and abundant it is. Look at the illusion we created for the world. Aren't you in your ego about that? Don't you want to stay in the relationship because of those reasons? And some of you said, hell nah. I'm going to let this go because I have a dream. And I'm not willing to give up on my dreams. And they could be people who gave up on their dream a long time ago. Or they're just very immature and have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. So there you go, Cancer. I wish you peace, love, and joy. You are moving forward, listening to your intuition. You're investing in new jobs and relationships. The people moving forward with you are also people who are inspired to live their life that way. And you all could be holding your sword up to some people in your life who are more about themselves and their ego and their image than walking the talk. So, and those other people are probably going to keep moving forward in pride and ego and trying to manipulate people about the truth of who they are. So I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.